For me at the present time, it is the 61st minute of the first day of the first month, taking into the fact that when we go around, we have to understand when we're turning things around, or if we're going around, okay, we have to keep this strap. You see the strap is constantly pulling this cup. You see the way it's moving around? Okay, this is what I talk about the bulldozer, right? The eye of the bulldozer is where the man who controls the bulldozer, right? So this is what it means to go around. And by the time you see this little band at the bottom here, this is the difference between the day and the night. And they're coming around this band, okay? The day and the night. Anyways, what I want to speak about right now is we're going to go in towards the calculator. We're talking 5. To the left of the 5 is minus. Above it is plus minus. Below it is minus minus. Here it is minus, or let's say in division. These two would be in division, 4 and 6. It is minus 4. It is plus 6. The total is 10. They're both 101 away from 5. Okay, so if we want to know what's like 4, well, alpha omega of 1 is 4. Alpha omega of 1 is 6. Omega of 4 is 3. 6 and 3, 1 and 4. 5 and 9. And those are the exact opposites of these dice. 4, the opposite is 3. 6, the opposite is 1. 6 and 3 will create your 9. So here's what we're going to do, and we're going to go through this video really quick. It's all about adding 5 and 2 all the way down. We add 5 and 2, that is the earth number. 5 and 2, okay, will create 5 and 2. You add 5 and 8 to it, creates the 10-10 world. Okay, 5 and 2, 5 and 8 create the 10-10 worlds. If it was Mars, Mars is 5 and 1. We would add 5 and 9 for the 10-10 worlds. 8 and 9 is a recognition of the high sky. 8 and 9 is 1 and 2. Right? 8 and 9 is 1 and 2 because 9 and 8 goes with 1 and 2. Well, 5, okay, and 6 and 1 and 2 create 77, but 5 minus 1 and 6 plus 6, 5 minus 1, excuse me, and 2. Let me bring this in a little bit closer. I don't know if I'm actually showing it properly. 5 minus 1 and 2 plus 2 is 4. So it's minus 1 plus 2. The total is 3. Okay, on this one, the configuration with 8 and 9 create 10-10. The minus 8 and 1, minus 9 and 2 create 77. This is how we create our numbers. 44 is the passing zone. 7 red, 4 black. 7 and 4 connect together. 2, 4, 6, 8, right? And where 6 and 9 are in rotation, or 3 and 6 are in rotation, and 4 and 7 are in rotation. It creates 365, 47 of the year. So when we bring down rotation, second level is communication. Minus and plus is your 3 and 7. Creation of the 7th gate, 313. Communication over here, although this is 1 and 4, which represents DNA, this will say Jesus Christ on the next level. And it also shows the green world, and 6 and 5. 1 and 4 is 5. 1 times 4 is 9, equaling to 6 and 9. We go up to 15. 5, 10, 15. 2, 4, 6. 5, 10, 15, 20. We now have man coming in with the birth and the cube. 2112, the reflection of 2112, okay? If we go into 1221, which is 1200, and 12 hours and 21 minutes, it equals to 741, right over here. 47 is the time mechanism. Multiply 1, 2, 3. Anyways, the next one we want to do is we're going to go up to 25. We minus this one over here. This is the cycle of the moon. 28, the minus is 12, the difference is 16. 1 and 6, the spirit of the half-life in the G world. 25, the reflection of Earth reversed. 10 is communication. 10 shows up with this small number over here. What is the small number? 4. Why is it 4? Because when we bring 8 and 2 to the 10 world and 5 and 5 to the 10 world, when we raise it to the next world, by the time we get down to this one over here, okay, we now have everything is 4 times 2 would become 8. This is another 8. 8 and 8 is 16, becomes 7. 7 and 4 is Jesus. 7, 4, and 10 creation. This one over here, okay, be the third one. 7, 8, 7. This one would be 6 and 6. 6, 6, and 6 right over here. The birth in the cube, the high sky. Why is this 6? Because 3 8s, the first 8 here, the second 8 here, the third 8 here, 24. Becomes 6, 6, 6 in this area. This one over here, we'll say 88. All zeros equal 6. This is 88, 858. This is your matrix running through the moon. 6 times 2, 6 plus 2. It's the T between the two circles creating one part of the I world. 25. 30 is your creation. Now the difference between 30 and 35 is because when you're going 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 10, 12, 14, 12 and 14 are also a representation and a reversal of each other. Where 6 times 2 and 7 times 2, the spirit is 76, if you want to look at it another way, in where this is 1/4 and this is 1/2, where 2 of these go into this. Where 2 to 1 and 4 to 1, 2 of these go into here. Reversals of their own fortune. Minus and plus equals 42 and 18. 7 times 6, 3 times 6, equaling to 4 or 3. DC, creation over here. 35 is electric company. Inside the sun, okay, this is 5, the 5 passage. This will create the birth in the sun. 7 times 7, the gateway to the cube world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 added, 7 times 3. Man in the cube world. Earth is a representation of 52. Here is the day. This is the representation of 3. This is the representation of white. This is the representation of the letter P, the one spirit of the half-life, which shows that the equator, okay, the equator diamond crosses through. And I'd like to show you that image, basically the image of that. See this image here? See the 1 and 1 on each side? It's an automatically minus and plus, right? You're balancing it off. But the circle, the heart, can only be on one side because the heart of the energy is on one side. Unless we turn it right upside down this way, then we're not the same way. When I cross a line through the center here, right, through this ball, I'm not touching the left and I'm not touching the right. But when I strike a line right through here, I now connect both sides. That's your I position over here. So now we're going to bring this back up over here. We get into 45. By the time we reach this position, this is 9 parts done. 18. This is the 1. This is where you get 9 lives of the cat, where one block inside your calculator shows up with 8 around it. 1 and 8. Okay, it's a representation of the oceans, the orange sun, and a combination of 1, okay, and 9, artificial intelligence, 2 sides, yellow on 2 sides. One is away from 8 by 1, the other is away from 8 by 7, and those two will represent the gateway, and they run through Mars. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is one part of the Mars system. 1 and 5 is 15. 7 and 8, 9 and 6 equals to 15 inside each other. 50 and 20, the 10th rotation, they're back to each other. When we get to 45, this represents, okay, the IT system in the sun. Okay, you minus it and you add it. It creates red moon Jupiter. 63 moons on Jupiter. Every time I see 63, it's a control of the 40 clock. Control the 40 clock. Remember, when 8 and 9 come together, this is 8 cycles of 5. This is 9 cycles of 5. Again, they come together. The 6 and 8 come together. 3/4 of a part. 3 times 2, 4 times 2. 8 times 2, 9 times 2. 8 and 9 come together. 17 create the 8 heaven. Remember, God split the day and the night. 8, 8, and 8. It becomes red, 27, 72, brown, which runs the clock, Earth. 63, 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 will equal 27 again. 54, 27, 27 is 54 of this number of the sun, which is represented in 3 planets. The word sun represents in Saturn, Uranus, and Venus. 63 minus 63 plus is 90, the birth, and 36 again, creation. 50, representation of L. Now you go to 55. This 55, okay, right over here, 10-4 is the same representation of 10-4 here. Here it represented the green ball and pool. And down here we have it 77 and 33 says Christmas, Christ of the masses, creation of Venus. Here it's communication, the same number replicating in this area, 11 times 5, 11 times 2, 22. 11, 11. 5 and 6. 7 and 7 is 14. 3 and 3 is 6. Representation of the same number. There is no other number that creates this. The other numbers by the 7th gate, and the split is 8 and 6. Or F and H are split up. The heavens of man are split. You get to the 24-hour day, back to 36 creation out of Pluto. Second level. Second level comes over to here, the cube and the birth. 666. On this scenario over here, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 is 3. Now we get to 20 and 8. Now we get to, this is the 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. We get to 20 and 8. This creates the sky, the dog sky, the God sky. You minus these, it becomes 13. You add them, it becomes 65. 70 and 28, cycle of the moon, the high sky of Earth. 9 and 8 equals to 8 and 7. Again, the split of Mars, right over here, Earth, Mars. And then you keep on going down until you get to 85 matrix, the DC matrix, 911, which is also 29, the birth, and area 51, Mars. This will now equal 68. 68 and 51 is communication. And add 17 to this, 4 by 17 is 68, 4 parts. The next one, you get the sun. So here you get the fox. The sun is 48. Mars is 51. The regular sun, our orange sun, is 54. 60 and 54. And then you get the moon, 95, 38. Inside the Church of Creation of DC is the doorway of our moon. The dog, the cat, and the split is right over here, where Grover Cleveland splits everything. He has his Christmas, and all of a sudden it's split. This is the way this shows up. 1221, 741 minutes. You add it to the second part of the clock. You add up with 1461, 21 minutes more than a regular day. 21, and that's the cube that it runs through. So this is the basic of how we're running up numbers. You want to go to the foreworld, you add 8 here, okay? You add 2 here. That is the cycle of the moon. We added 1 and 2 to create this. Okay, we added 1 and 2. Now we're going to add 8 and 2 to the same scenario. Okay, 8 and 2. See, it was -1. You go to +1 and +6. The other side is 0. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 2 and 2 is 4. So the other side of this is to change this number to bring it to the other world, to the gateway, where this would be 8 and this would stay at 2. So anyways, we dragged it all the way down. I showed you over here. This one over here, when you get to the 8th level, and this is where Chaldean comes in, because when you get to the 8th level, okay, the 8th level, 8 by 8 is 64. 6 and 4 equals to 1. 1 will equal to 7. The 8th level will equal to 47 again. And that's Christ. That is the passage zone. In number 8 equals 1. Right over here. 4 and 1. The day of the 2 moon cycle. Mars is 2 moons. Venus and Mercury move through us. 51 and 52. Reverse them. It's 15, which is 1/4 of time. 25, which is 1/4 of 100. 40 is the star system difference. You go down to here is 1. You go down to here is 9, 8. You go down here is 7. You go down here it's 6. Inside of creation of man is 666. Again, here it's 5. Here it's 4. The cycle of the moon of the clock. 10 is missing because 10 runs through us. Okay, so that would be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. When you get to 2, it is the gateway of communication. Boom, right here on the sun. 112, or just mark it as 8 and 3 is 22, which equals to 4, which equals to 3. DC, communication right here. 80 becomes 86. If you minus it, okay, if you minus the 86, we end up with 54, the number to the sun. We don't add the 0 here, we end up of the sun. We take away 4, we end up with 44. Area space because of the minus and the +6. And that's all I have to say on these numbers right now. Alignment of the numbers. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. There are a lot of numbers, and one of the things I wanted to mention about that number 82 is that, especially in roulette, They mention 8 and 11, 1 and 1 is 2, and they mention 6 and 2, 8, and 29. They connect to 1 and 4. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, okay, is D and E. One side of the electronic world, DNA, creates 23 creation, okay, and this one over here is 59, EIEIO, on the farm. You minus it, it becomes 3. You minus it, it's 33. 333 is the way they all connect. Raphael 7286, the constellation of Pegasus. That's all for design in the roulette board. Thank you for watching.